So we live. We on the Dog Pound K9 Boxing Show, and I got two special guests, the Christopher Simmons family. How y'all doing? Y'all
Good.
good?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Um, what's going on? What y'all doing? I see all these medals and belts and all that, man. Where you get that from?
we just been grinding. I've been grinding all my life. Sure, whatever sport I did, I dominated. And
Hey,
I'm narrowing down on the sports a little, but I'm still winning, of course.
yeah, I like what you just said to us. I've been grinding all my life. Can you scoot over just a little bit so I can see both your eyes? Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yep, yep. Little Chris. Yep.
that's good.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Tanya, come here.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So you've been grinding all your life. I know I talked to you yesterday. You was telling me how you getting bigger and stuff. So what you been doing? You been doing push ups or lifting weights or what?
Um, I'm mainly working on my legs because I want to build my legs up. Because
Okay.
I think when I get big, I'll really start getting the knockout power from my legs. Because like horseware, when you turn that right hand, you bring it from the bottom up, and I think the bigger my legs, I'll be able to get more knockouts. Like that's pretty much how like George Foreman got a lot of knockouts. His legs were big, so he used it straight from the hip and turned on it. That's how he's knocking a lot of people out.
Okay. Hey, I like that. I like that. Where you getting all this knowledge from? You getting that from Dad? Hey, Dad, what's up? You putting him up on it or what? Not. Are you training your son, or you just dad? You just sitting back and just watching and having fun?
No, yes, sir. Me and my wife, we both train them.
Okay.
It's a tag team effort.
Mm-hmm.
She does a lot of educational stuff. He writes papers on different boxers and
Mm-hmm.
different boxing styles. We go all the way back to the greats. Sugar Ray and Nicolo Leche and Nicolino
Nicolino Loche.
Nicolino Loche. Yeah,
All
we
right.
go back to all these guys. He's on it. He knows all their
Yeah.
names, man.
Mm-hmm.
All the old great fighters learn the different styles.
Yeah.
The blocks. Sometimes people see him doing stuff in fights and they don't. They're like, "What is he doing?" Well,
Right.
shoot, he picked it up from some of the greats, man. I mean, he
Yeah.
studied. He studied a lot.
Okay. So let me ask you this though. How hard is it to actually to be a father and a trainer? Because I train my son too, and being a father and a trainer, boy, how you balance that?
Yeah, it's very tough because of course he just turned 16 and he's trying to feel himself and no, he's sitting there laughing because I mean he just feeling himself. He's wanting to do what he want to do, and he likes training and he likes the workouts and he really likes the fight and I mean he's very competitive. But I mean, they're just in this phase right now where they're trying to do what they want to do, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Uh, Tough. But we work it out. We manage it. It's good, because we do a lot of things besides boxing.
Okay.
We go fishing, we swim, we go shooting. We do all kind of stuff, man. We're just all over the place. This pandemic kind of slowed us down as far as being able to go travel and stuff. We really like to travel. That's
Yeah.
one of our biggest things that we do as a family is travel.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's kind of how we manage it. We have fun.
Mm-hmm. How many fights you got, Red?
I have 176 fights right now.
Woo! Hey.
Yeah, my last fight was when I won the Canadian National Championship. That was my
Okay.
second international title.
Wow. So you fighting all over the country,
Yes, sir.
and so Dad, you paying for all that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have some sponsors that help out, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah. For the most part, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying for it, but I give all glory and honor to God, man. He's my
Yes.
source.
Mm-hmm.
He provides for us. He's a great provider.
Yes. 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 Now I know
And
you got another.
we've been able to travel all over the world, boxing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been great.
Where are some of the countries y'all actually for that?
Fought in Dubai, fought in India,
Mm-hmm.
fought in
Serbia, and then
Serbia,
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to go to Seven Nations this year.
Okay.
We made it to one.
Mm-hmm.
We were victorious.
Yes.
We still have about 4 or 5 tournaments that they're rescheduling. Very big tournaments like the what's the name of that tournament in Serbia? The Nations Cup, the AIBA Nations Cup.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the toughest tournaments in the world. Last year he got the bronze in Serbia, and he was the youngest competitor in his division. So we're very excited about going back there. They loved him. He got most loved boxer.
Mm.
They loved him. They cheered his name like he was a country all by himself.
Yeah, that's good.
It was a great thing.
Now I know you being it. Huh? What'd you say?
I feel like I was Anthony Joshua over there, like Anthony Joshua walking in the streets of UK.
Yeah, right, right. I know you got some like a lot of endorsements, and I heard. Didn't you tell me that Floyd is actually endorsing them too?
Endorsing who?
Endorsing your son. I'm talking about like he had a chance to pick. I think 4 or 5 fighters that he really respected or wanted him to be a part of the kid team, money team, and your son
Yes, sir.
was one of them.
Yeah, that was back in the days. Yeah, the Young Money team.
Okay.
Nothing really ever came out of that, but
Mhm.
it was a great thing to have been selected. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things that jump started him. People always wonder how he got so many followers and how so many people know him. I mean, it's because of his work ethic
Mhm.
and also because of that. I mean, I think just the videos that we post, as far as him working out, a
Mhm.
lot of coaches motivate their fighters by those videos
Yeah.
because man, I have to say he's one of the hardest working kids in the country. I
Oh.
personally, I know a lot of the great kids, and not many of them are working harder than him.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Where your other son? Don't you got another son in that box too?
Yeah, Norman's sitting over there. He's
Okay.
there on the couch. He's sitting there reading a book, looking like, man, I wish I could have been in the interview.
Yeah, I don't really want to.
Hey, tell me the story of them oysters. Remember those oysters? When I told you, because I'm not used to seeing someone like y'all from down south, so y'all eat them oysters and stuff. Tell me the story about when Norman ate too many of them.
He's trying to walk away now. Yeah. So we all eat oysters. Well, before it was just me and Christopher. My wife doesn't eat oysters.
Yeah,
And Norman was trying. We were at Mankino in Vegas,
yeah.
and and it's all you can eat. And they have some good oysters. They got good everything. Well, Norman decided that day in Vegas that he was going to start eating oysters. And man, he tore them up. Oh my God, he tore them up. He ate so many oysters. I said, Norman, please stop, man. I said, so you're doing too much. He said, but I love them. They're the greatest. And so he just popping oysters in his mouth, popping oysters in his mouth. It was hilarious, man. I said, please stop, Norman. I wasn't going to make him stop eating them because, he just started. He usually eat the little live crabs out of them. We don't eat those little crabs, but he'll eat those little crabs. He likes those, the live
Okay.
crabs when you pop them open. But, man, poor fella, he got so sick, he was throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Hey, look. So, how long have we actually been knowing each other? Because I know every time I go out of town with my son on these tournaments, I always see y'all.
Wow, let's see. Where did we meet at?
Oh, we met in Utah for
That's
the
right.
Open.
That's right. Yeah, the first time we met you in Utah. Yeah, clear.
Yeah, I think the real first time we met you when we did that video where you did them barking noises was in I think
yeah,
yeah,
fight.
the
That's what we
Thurman
met
Garcia
you.
Yeah.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
like,
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. How many nationals have you actually won? I mean, I got my 2 belts in the back, but man, you blowing me away. You got medals. You hiding all the belts with your back and you and your dad's back. I know, man. How many nationals have you won? I see WBC. I see everything back there.
the WBC medal, I got that from the WBC president Mauricio Suleiman.
Mhm.
He gave me that. That's the WBC Medal of Honor. because we came to the fight all the way from North Carolina to Los Angeles, the Sean Porter Earl Spence fight, and I told him about my accomplishments, and he was like, wow. So he gave me the Medal of Honor. That's a very rare medal. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was an awesome experience too for him to do it. They taped his like a little ceremony, and it was really nice. Being honored. At the Sean Porter and Earl Spence fight, such a big fight, and him walking around Vegas and on Rodeo Drive with his medal and everybody. Oh, who are you? Do you fight? It was nice. It was very nice. But he's got he won Silver Gloves national championship, and then he's won some like some other national championships like Battle of the States, and also Sugar Bird. We've had a rough time with some quality decisions from USA Boxing.
Yes,
it's so funny because some guys that are champions in USA Boxing, we smashed them like Jesus Franco. We beat him. Jamarion Forte. I mean, he was undefeated for 3 years straight, and all the guys that are some of the top ranked guys now, he smashed them, and we beat him.
That was a good fight though. That was a very tough fight. It was close, but I stayed on it. I pressured him. Every time he switched, I caught him off guard. So it was a good fight. But yeah, that was really tough.
And we just it's so funny because a lot of times in the USA boxing tournaments, I mean, we're eliminated in the very first round by a no-name boxer that we're dominating, and we just don't get the decision.
Yeah.
And it's kind of frustrating, And it's so funny because we haven't been to a fight in almost 2 years for USA boxing, and he's still ranked number 7 in the country.
Wow. At 110.
At 110 in the junior division. It's kind of hilarious because, I'm not trying to throw off on USA boxing, but, I don't know what it is, but we just don't get quality decisions from USA boxing. I mean, we're traveling all over the world, fighting the best competition in the world. Yeah. And we can't even get a decision over a kid that's got 15 fights here in the States. And, it's just very discomforting to know that they're not sending their best.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the biggest problems, with USA boxing. They're cliquish. They pick who they want to pick, and they send who they want to send. And it's obvious, and people on the inside, they know. It's just obvious.
Okay, so with him having 160 something fights, I mean that's unbelievable. At 16, when did he start boxing?
He started at 8 years old.
Yeah, I started competing at 8 and started training seriously at 5.
Okay. Wow. 160.
So we can own it, man. I mean, a lot of times, we pick up 30 to 50 fights a year. I mean, we travel all over the country and go get those fights. When he first started out, he was 45 pounds. Man,
wow.
I remember his second fight, we went to Florida, and they matched us up with this kid. He must have been about 65, 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And my son was 45 pounds. And that kid is fighting in the elite division now.
Yeah.
So like 3 years older than my son. And I'm like, wow, these guys, we saw this same guy. So he was fighting my son at 45, and he comes out. My son's like up to his chest right here, and and then we see this guy the next week over at the Florida Pal. And it's funny because he couldn't cheat there.
Yeah.
And he had to fight somebody his own size. He got stopped, and you stopped your guy and won the Florida Pal. God has a way of restoring you. We saw that little boy crying. I felt so sorry for him. I prayed for him.
Yeah.
But he showed us, and he showed them in the presence of everybody. He got stopped, and we stopped our guy and won the belt in the championship. So God will restore you, man. Anybody out there, if you're getting cheated, if people are doing bad things to you, don't worry, because he's gonna set a table before you in the presence of your enemies. He's going to bless you. And that's all we've been doing, man. We've been blessed. God's blessed my son. I mean, the folks from USA Boxing have pushed him out and shunned him. I've made complaints, and so we went to the world.
Yeah.
We went to the world, man. And now we're having tremendous success.
Yes.
He's very popular. Got a big following in India, big following in Dubai, big following
Serbia.
In Serbia.
Serbia's the largest.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's incredible. You know, everywhere he goes, he just has favor. You know.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like what they say in the Bible: a prophet is not accepted in his own hometown. You know,
Yes.
there's just no real kind of love. You know, I know. I don't know. It's a beautiful thing though, because what they meant for bad, God means for good. And so, you know, we went to the world and we're doing very good. I mean, I think it's just an awesome thing. We're seeing the world and traveling. You know, we had Canada, huge following in Canada, they level. It's so funny. I mean, we fought in Canada. When was that? How old were you when we first fought in Canada?
That was 2000. That was like 2014 or 15. Something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, he must have been 12.
Yeah, I was 12 when I won
11
the
or 12 years old.
Cup.
Yeah, he won national championship in Canada. And those judges and referees, they still remember him from how vicious he was. It was like he's just a vicious little bugger. It's so funny, man. But we just enjoy the people all around the world, man. We just had a blast. And we stay in contact with them, man. And we meet them at the tournaments. And it's just like a family reunion. We just have a good time.
What's the goal with him having 160 something amateur fights and he's 16? Is the goal to go pro? And when do you think he'll go pro? Because if he go pro at 21, he done had 600 amateur fights, which is good, but then it could be bad.
I don't know. You know, I know you kind of got this same kind of issue with your son about when to take him pro. You know, we've seen some guys, you know, like that I thought would be very good in the pros, and you know they just went a little too early and they hadn't developed that man strength. So you know we're kind of looking to see, you know, when he develops that strength. I mean, he's very strong now. He's always one of the strongest kids, you know. So we're focusing more on technique and setting up the knockouts and you know being explosive, you know. And also developing other weapons in his arsenal. You know, we just putting a little bit more stuff in his bag. But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I can't say. You know, you look at some of the guys like Raymond Ford. You know, we really love him, man. Raymond Ford. Do you know who he is?
Raymond Ford. No.
Raymond Ford. He fights for the Zone.
Raymond Ford. I probably would know him by face.
He's out of Jersey. Yeah, he's awesome, man. I mean, he's undefeated. Good prospect, man. I mean, very explosive. You know, same thing with him, man. He really wasn't getting the traction with USA Boxing, and so he went ahead and went pro. And man, he's doing great. You know.
Yeah.
And then you got the guys like Hammer. You know, Hammer's doing great too. I mean, you know, he's doing really good. I think you know, I don't know about the knockout against Charlo, but you know, I mean, he's doing great to have came this far and you know without waiting and turning pro so early. Some of these guys are making the right decision financially because you know, you look at Shakur. I mean, Hammer's making a whole lot more money than Shakur right now, and Shakur won a silver medal. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to wait to try and go to the Olympics or anything like that. I don't know what kind of opportunity we would have anyway, but you know, unless we fought for like Panama. And that's something that we consider too, is possibly, you know, fighting for Panama in the Olympics. But you know, we're just blessed. You know, my wife is Panamanian, and so you know, my kids they have dual citizenship, and so that's something that you know that we've looked into. But I don't know about the going pro, man. I mean, it really got to develop the man strength, and it depends on the team that we put together. Yeah. Because you know, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about like selecting a team when you get ready to go pro? See, you got all the wisdom, man.
Right. And look, so
thank you for dropping some of those. That's why we love you so much, man.
Yeah.
Share, man.
That's right. No, take your time. You know, you got to make sure you got you a good advisor. You should always have somebody that's over somebody. Like, you know, I got my wife, she's the manager, but then, you know, I got a guy who helps her. Then she got an advisor that helps her. So you just got to continue to put things in place. But you gotta, you gotta go by the spirit though. You know what I mean? You gotta go by the spirit. You always can call me, so we gonna talk and we gonna chop it up. But you wanna take your time. If a person just anxious to do something, then maybe they ain't the right person. They
Yeah,
should be a lot of them be real anxious, like, man, come on, do this, come on. So you just take your time and just listen. Be willing to listen to all offers. Because that first offer may sound real good, but it might not be as good as a person who ain't really got a whole lot. I remember when I was about to go pro, it was a guy that was gonna offer me 10,000. His 10,000 wasn't the same 10,000 as Emmanuel 10,000. I hadn't did nothing in the amateur, so 10,000 was a lot for me. I only had 10 amateur fights. But do I take the 10,000 from Emmanuel Stewart, who's considered probably the greatest trainer of all time, or do I take the 10,000 from a guy who just got money? I said, nah, let me go with Emmanuel. He could have gave me 6,000 or 7,000. His wisdom was worth more than the money, and he can guide me and teach me and get me to where I'm trying to go.
that's right. That's right. You're right.
Yeah,
It's important. It's important to be with the right people, you know.
yeah,
And man, I thank God, that we have, you in our life, man, to help us out.
yeah.
Just a wealth of wisdom, man. You know the inside. So,
Absolutely,
thank you, thank you. We
absolutely.
appreciate everything that you do for us and
Yeah,
all the wisdom that you give to us.
hmm
Because that came at a big cost.
yeah, yeah.
You've been through it, you've done it, been there,
Yes.
and done that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who have that wisdom, they're unless you sign it with them or something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, they're not trying to help you. So,
No. No.
I appreciate what you're doing, and I think that's what makes you such a great guy too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just a blessed individual.
Yeah. So you got like good people like y'all, man. I mean, I'm there for y'all, man. Y'all Christians just like I'm a Christian, and that's speaking of being a Christian, man. You're doing such a great job. I told you that your son and my son is the only ones I know that represent Christ. Out of all these kids I see, I don't hear nobody talk about some Jesus for life, and that really makes me feel good. How did you? I mean, what's the secret to you raising him the way he is? He's so proper. Is he kind of? I mean, it's unbelievable how quiet, how relaxed, and how male mannered he is. He just a good kid, man. I mean, just unbelievable in these days. Because these kids, man, they'll knock their daddy out nowadays.
True, and that's true. One of the things that I think is big for us is that he's been homeschooled
Mm,
for a real long time. So a lot of those external forces we didn't have to deal with those.
mm-hmm.
It's been a blessing.
Yeah,
My wife does their school, and she was a assistant principal. She's a teacher, assistant principal, and a principal. And so they've got the best education that money could buy. I mean, they don't just study in the book. We go to the places,
yeah,
you know, to all around the world and see all of these historic sites and
yeah.
actually go to reenactments. And so we study it on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
I like to drive, so
Yeah.
we see you laughing because it's a lot
Right.
of work. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people think, oh, they just travel around and they go eat at all these places and
Mm.
everything's so good. Well,
Yeah.
he works really hard,
Yeah.
to get everything that he's got,
Yes.
and he earns it. And the other thing is, my wife, man, she is so awesome with the kids and teaching them and doing Bible study, character development.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just an awesome thing, sometimes people say, "Oh, that's overkill." No, you can never do too much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Educating your kids
Right.
and feeding them wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they studied Proverbs for how long? How long did y'all study Proverbs?
And that was a while ago, but we studied it for like a year. Now we're studying John. We're studying the death of Jesus and the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to study Revelation now and what's going to happen in the end when the rapture is going to come.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh yes, yes. I love Revelations. You might admit I love it. Yes.
yeah.
Uh
You
huh.
get a blessing from
Yeah.
reading Revelation, so that's
Yeah.
my favorite chapter.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only book you get a blessing from reading it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I only got like a couple of more minutes left. I definitely want to ask you, Dad. Like I know you told me some of the things you did. I was surprised you told me. You was a police officer. You done did some everything yourself.
I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I wanted to know like some of the things you did and some of the things you retired from. When we talked and you told me you was a police officer and you had a lot of things you have done.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. Well, my background, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated from E. Smith High School,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Golden Bulls. Uh, and, we have one of the biggest alumni associations in the world and,
Mm-hmm.
do scholarships
Yeah.
all around the world. And,
Yeah.
it's just a great organization, a
Mm-hmm.
great school. It's really a family. And
Yeah.
I'm so blessed to have went there,
Okay.
E. Smith. And so I graduated from North Carolina State with a 4-year degree in criminal justice and
Yeah.
political science.
Mm.
And I was going to be an attorney.
Yeah.
And I deferred my admission to, the law schools.
Yeah.
And I started a photography studio. My parents gave me some time. And, they really wanted to be a lawyer. But I became a photographer and I opened a studio. And, I started making so much money that it was kind of crazy for me to go to, be a lawyer because I was making more money than most of the lawyers in the town where I lived at already in Fayetteville. And so I was really blessed, man. I had about 95% of the market, in Fayetteville, totally digital studio. There I started, I worked at the police department, at the sheriff's department in Cumberland County.
Uh-huh.
I really liked that, but it just wasn't for me. God pushed me off. From there, I went and the whole time I had the photography studio, but from there I went and started as a probation officer, and I was for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then I went into the prison system where I was a correctional officer for 2 years, and 3 years. I
Yeah.
really liked being a correctional officer. That was one of my favorite jobs.
Mm.
And on that job, I met this man, Darren McNeil,
Okay.
and he taught me about group homes. And then I started opening up a group home, and we've expanded our agency, and now we're really reaching out to the community and helping people, and it's been an awesome thing. One of the things that kept me though in the transition when I was trying to get on with the sheriff's department is
Yeah.
I met my coach Anthony Bradley,
Okay.
who was the coach of the Army team, and
Uh-huh.
I was under him for 4 years, and I just love my coach, man. It's a great thing when you have a bond with your coach and
Yes.
they really care about you. And he paid me one of the highest compliments.
Yeah.
Maybe some of his boxes might be looking.
Yeah.
He's trying a whole lot of boxes, man.
Mm-hmm.
He worked with USA Boxing
Mm-hmm.
and with the Olympic teams for I think about 20 years. And
Mm-hmm.
he told me, he said, Chris, he said you're one of my most successful boxers. He said you didn't do it in the ring, but you did it in life. And he said
Absolutely.
he said in this game, he said it's not just about teaching them how to fight in the
Yeah.
ring, but
Yeah.
how to fight in life. And
Absolutely.
that's what I'm doing with my son.
Yeah.
I'm not just teaching them how to fight and win in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
but how to fight and win in life.
Yes.
And you have to, you pick your battles,
Mm-hmm.
you have your strategy, and then you count the cost before you do any of that. And
Yes.
then you go for it, man. You go for it. And you don't take no for an answer. And so that's what we do.
Yeah.
We're hard workers, and I know a lot of people say they get it from the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, we bring it from the bottom to the top.
That's right. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, I look forward to interviewing you again. Y'all got any final words? And definitely plug them with your social media and everything you're doing.
Yes, sir. You guys,
You can follow me on Instagram at BigRed_NC.
Mm-hmm.
BigRed_NC. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. All right. What about you, Pops?
Yeah, well, I want to say thank you, again for having us, and
Yes.
man, I just, I just thank God for you, and I'm praying for you, man,
Yes.
for the platform that He's given you,
Yeah.
and that it develop and just grow,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're an awesome guy, man. You got a great heart. You
Thank
love the kids. You love
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I'm praying for your son, man. That he just do great things for Christ, and
Mm-hmm.
hey, it would be a great thing. We both win those world championships on the same night, on the same card.
Yes, yes.
How,
I
how
received
beautiful would that
that.
be?
Yes, that'd be super, super great. Yep.
Hey, so look, they'll have you commentating the fight while you're coaching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, one love, man. Y'all have a good evening. The Simmons in the building. Jesus for life, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.